How to create an exam on the Bible Online Learner. In order to do so, you go to Administration and then Manage Exams. Here you see an overview of all your exams that you have created. Obviously, I'm seeing 190 exams here. That is because I'm an administrator here at the Bible Online Learner website and do get access to all the exams that have been created by different users. In your case, you will see only your own exams. In order to create an exam, you go to the bottom of the page, you click on Create New Exam. Then you choose the folder in which the different exercises that you want to bundle into the exam are being present. So Andrews University, let's create a Hebrew final exam. We go to the Hebrew qualifier and now we select the exercises that we are using in our Hebrew 1 final exam. So we choose a vocab exercise, we choose the prefixing exercise, we are choosing a morphology exercise for nominal forms, we choose a suffixation exercise, we choose verbal form analysis, we choose phrase analysis, and let's say we choose a clause relation analysis. So you see we have selected now 7 different exercises that we are going to bundle together into the form of an exam. So once we have selected the exercises, we click the button Create New Exam from Marked Files. Now we can give this a name. Let's call this Test Exam Hebrew 1. So you can try to give it a name that is meaningful to you so that you can quickly identify that exam. So Create Exam. Now the editing exam page opens. You can define now how many questions you want to select from each of these exercises. Let's keep it simple. Let's just have one slide, that is one question set per exercise. So we have again selected 7 exercises, so we'll just ask one question per exercise to make it simple for this example. Then you see that you have the option to provide a grading weight for each exercise. You can say that vocab actually has a weight of 2, while morphology has a weight of 1. So you can distribute the 100% of the grading value to the different exercises that you want. And in some scenarios, you might want to give a heavier weight to a certain type of exercise than to another exercise. Alrighty, then you can provide a description for this exam as well. And this is a test. You click on Save. Now you have created the exam. Let's look up the exam. We called it Test Exam Hebrew 1. This is the exam we have just created. Now the exam can now be made available to students by creating instances of that exam. So the exam is basically the pool that you have created, and now you can create an instance of that pool. So create instance. You can now select the class to which you want to make that exam available. In this case, let's say the Fall 2023 class. We call this instance Hebrew 1 Final for Fall 2023. You can define the starting date. Let's say a future date. Let's say your exam will take place next Monday. And you can define an ending date, and you can define a start time. That's always your local time. So let's start that exam at 8 o'clock in the morning. And you can also define a duration, a time limit for that exam. Let's say they have 10 minutes for that exam. Click on OK. Now that instance is created. When your student logs in, so let's go to our student tab here. have a student. When the student logs in and goes to text and exercises, clicks exams, the student can now see that there is an exam waiting for him. Here we have the exam defined. Once the exam gets active, that means once we are on Monday 28, the exam will show up here and can be taken. So let's create another exam from the same pool. You can create endless exams from the exam you have just created. So let's go to Manage Exams. Let's go to the exercise to the exam that we have just put together. It was here Test Exam Hebrew 1. We create another instance. We call it, choose our class, our for class. And then we call this testing now, and we make this available today. We have here 11:56, so let's change this into 11 o'clock, and let's give this here 10 minutes. Okay, so now when I go back to my student account, private, here we go, this is the student. You see the student has now an active exam and a future exam waiting for, I think in this case it's Migdali, for her. So you can now just take the exam and the exam will start. You see here the description of the exam that we have provided. This is a test, and we said we have one slide for each of the 7 exercises that we have bundled together in this exam. So say finish the section. You see we no longer have now check answer or show answer buttons. This is because it's an exam. We don't provide answers obviously anymore. Finish the section. This is the vocab section. We just had one slide. Then the statistics are sent to the server, and the next part of the exam will start, which was, I think, a prefixation exercise. Yes, here we go. So you see here the exercise description of the exercise that we have selected. In this case, we need to prefix the vav before the azaria. So since this is a katev vowel, we need to select vav and patach. Finish. Again, we only chose one slide per exercise, so we just had this prefixation exercise with one slide, submitted the information to the server, and the third exercise being bundled into this exam will present itself. Nominal forms. Katuf, what is that? And that's masculine for sure, that's singular, and the state, well, we provided a hint here, the state is not construct, so it's absolute. We finished this section. And now the statistics are sent again to the server, and the next exercise will start that we bundled into this exam. It was pronominal suffixes at hen. What is that? Hen, well, here we have a third, a feminine, and a plural. Finished section. Again, we are done with this suffix exercise. Statistics are sent to the server. The next exercise will start here in a second. That is verbal morphology. So here we have yizat mum. So definitely we have a pronominal suffix, third masculine plural. Then we have a PL, and it's a Vaiktol, and it's a third person, and it's masculine, it's plural. Alright, good. So finish this section. Now we again send the statistics to the server, and our next exercise will start. Phrase analysis. So now we need to translate this clause. So vayim loch tachataf, and he reigned instead of him. So that's definitely the predicate. Yeah, it's a verbal phrase, and it's the predicate. Here we have it. Instead of him, Yo Lav, the son of Zerach. Well, obviously this is our subject, so this is a nominal phrase. Well, it's actually a proper proper name phrase. I think this is what it is. Then we have this as our subject, finished section. And then we get to our last element of this exam, which was a class connection exercise. And yeah, here we need to define whether this is a dependent or an independent clause. In this case, Vayavdel Elohim ben Haor. Well, that obviously is an independent clause, and it is a verbal clause. We've finished the section, and now our exam is done. You see we have still time left, 6 minutes and 6 seconds. Statistics are sent to the server. The exam's complete. This was the student who took just the exam. Let's go back to our instructors tab, and we can now have a look and grade the exam. So we go to My Data, we go to Grade Exams, we pick our class. Here's the class, and then we select the exam. Well, the exam we were choosing was this Testing Now exam. So let's go and choose a letter grading system with Migdali Glantz took the exam. You see she gets a straight A. Nice. Let's have a look at the details. In the details, you see the different exercises that were bundled into this exam. Obviously, there was an error here in the phrase analysis exercise. I think I know what it was, just because I do not remember the abbreviation of the proper name phrases. I think that's where I made a mistake. But for the rest, we got straight A's. So again, the student, as well as you as an instructor, can look up what the exact mistake was. Yeah, and as I suspected here, I provided the answer PRP, assuming that was the proper name phrase, but a proper name phrase is abbreviated as PRNP. Again, this is not relevant here for this discussion, but you see how exams can be created, can be taken, and can be graded.